this first idea of factoring is how you should start every problem when you're dealing with factoring. So it's, in short terms, it's called finding the GCF. GCF stands for greatest common factor. Now, you've probably talked about this before. It's not a new concept, but we're going to review this because this idea will help us in our factoring throughout this module. So go ahead, find the GCF of 12 and 4. So even though 6 does go into them, just like 2 goes into 12 and 24, 4 goes into 12 and 24, we're looking for the greatest of those, and so what we're looking for here would be 12. Yeah, we're just looking for the GCF right now, starting slow with this idea. Alright, so I want you to do, as we look at A, B, C, and D, see if you can't find the GCF of those. Now, you're dealing with 3 numbers, so this time your GCF has to be for all 3. So if I look at, like, one of those, 12 and 18, hey, it might be a number for those, but it also has to be for 6 as well. Alright, so find the GCF on those 4 problems. Hey, so 12, 18, and 6. David, what's our GCF? Hey, good. 6. So 6 goes into 6, and then 6 goes in 12 and 18. So that's going to be our highest one. So we have 6 for that one. All right, for B, let's go with Kyle. Okay, so 4 goes into 8, 4 goes into 24, and 4 goes into 36. Well, what about 8? 8 goes in 8, 8 goes in 24. Does 8 go into 36? Not evenly, at least. Right? Because 8 goes into 32 or 40, but not 36. So then our GCF there is going to be 4. And for C, 1, 4, and 8. Felipe. Luis. What's the GCF for 1, 4, and 8? It is 1. 1 sometimes is your GCF. Biggest number that goes into all 3 of those. It's nice if you see 1 because you can't really get a bigger number than 1, so then that's going to be your GCF there. And D, 14, 21, and 7. Brian. 7. Good. Now, we can find GCF with numbers. We can also do it with terms that have variables in them. So now we have to take into account 2 things. We have to take into account what is the greatest common factor of the numbers and what is the greatest common factor of the variables. Okay, so looking at this one, I'm going to look at the numbers first. So 4, 12, and 8. Our greatest common factor is going to be 4 for the numbers. But then we have to look at our x's. So as we look at this, I have x cubed here, I have an x squared, and I have an x. So what is the greatest number of x's that go into all 3 of those? Just 1 x, right? Because I have 3 x's here. All right, think about if we write it out. And then I have 2 x's here, and then I have 1 here. Well, the greatest that I can circle that's in common for all of them is just 1x. So then we would say our GCF is 4x. I want you to try A, B, and C. Now, just because they have addition or subtraction signs between them doesn't change. That's no different than the previous problem. I could have written that as 4x cubed plus 12x squared minus 8x. And that wouldn't have changed what my GCF is. So find the GCF for A, B, and C. Okay, so we have 5v to the 5th plus 10v to the 3rd. And our GCF on that is what? Alan? Just 5?
Yeah. 5v.
How many v's did the first one have? The first one has 3. So it's 5v to the 5th. So we have 5 v's there. How many v's on the second term? 3. So what's the most v's that we can pull out? 3 of them. So our GCF